Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 6th, presented by Mercury. Hey, folks, today is our Fish for Jamie fundraiser tournament for our fallen friend, Jamie Collette, for his kids at Coosa Landing. Weigh-ins today at 2 o'clock. Please feel free to come on by and support everybody. We'll have a raffle. You can buy raffle tickets there. You can sign up for the tournament at the lake if you wanted to fish it. Guaranteed payback. But first, before you get out there, let's listen to what Tom Ott, Lee Pitts, and Josh Herron have to say about fishing in our area, and we'll be right back with the guys. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 6th, presented by Mercury. Hey, before we get to the fishing report, don't forget we're going to have our Fish for Jamie fundraiser tournament for our fallen friend, Jamie Collette, for his family. But that's today at Coosa Landing here at Neely Henry. Anyway, Josh, we want to talk to you about Logan Martin and Lay Lake right now. Tell us what's going on down there on that end of the Coosa River.
Man, I spent my weekend at Jordan and at Lay. Both of them were pretty lackluster. It's a junk fishing fest, to say the least. I think we wound up coming in 10th in the Sylacauga Championship. Yep. But out of the 5 fish we weighed in this weekend, all 5 were caught on something different. So wasn't a whole lot of pattern fishing. It's kind of what we were talking about before. It's you basically got to figure out where bait is and fish each day pretty fresh. The more this weather comes in, it seems like they're biting a little bit better and better. Main thing we're looking for right now is actually just a big move for these fish to really get kind of keyed in on bait and start tracking some of these things. We caught a lot of fish in that 3 to 5 foot range this weekend, which was kind of weird because most of them were spotted bass. All the largemouth we caught out of 16 to 20, which is completely as beyond odd, but it happened. So, but like I said, man, it really is a junk fishing fest. It's a great time to go through scroungers, square bills, little swim baits on jig heads. I mean, it's a cover and water deal, and kind of just run into them and figure it out through the day. But if I was going to suggest anything to anybody, it'd kind of be that same deal. Start looking at the mouth of these natural creeks and start working your way back. You'll run into them eventually.
So what kind of, you said little swim baits, scrounger heads. What kind of bait do you like on the end of you use the shiver shad or something like that? On the scrounger?
Yeah, I mean the shiver shot works really good on like a 3/16 scrounger. The little dipper is a really good bait to throw on like a 1/4 ounce or a 3/8 ounce just regular swim bait head. I like that owner. I think it's called a lockdown. It's a really good head for it. But I mean, it's not anything real technique specific. It's literally just pick you out a shad imitating bait and kind of cover some ground. It seems like when you run into them, you run into several of them. So I think they're starting to wolf back up. And it looks like we're going to get a whole lot of cold weather in here. So looks like we are setting up for a old time winter.
Yep, the chat are going to start dying, so don't be afraid to let the bait drop a little bit, folks. Josh, thanks so much for spending this time with us, and we'll talk to you soon. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 6th, presented by Mercury. Hey, folks, come out and join us today at Coosa Landing here at Neely Henry for our Fish for Jamie fundraiser tournament for Jamie Collette's kids, our fallen brother. And I know one guy that's probably looking forward to how he's going to do. Lee, tell us what's happening here on Neely Henry. Let's start at Neely Henry this time.
Hopefully I'll have a chance to redeem myself down there a little bit. So I think, the fish are biting down there. It's been a good week. A lot of the guys that have been down there looking around for the tournament, today is saying some good reports. They're catching a lot of numbers, catching some good size too. So I think it's probably going to be the largemouth that's going to win it, but these guys are catching some big spots down there right now.
Yeah, we've been seeing a little bit of an increase in spots. We even heard out of that Sylacauga Championship down there, the Sylacauga Marine deal down there, that spots were shallow, largemouth were deep. So everything's a little funky, but we're getting a cold snap right now, so that can't do anything but help. Overall, how would you go presenting, and what would your approach be down in Neely Henry right now?
I think it's going to be a good topwater bite. I think a buzz bait, some kind of little spook or something like that. And then as the day progresses, I believe just covering the banks, like I said, with a spinner bait, keep something moving. They're going to be feeding on shad, chasing bait. So I really think it's going to be a multiple of things guys can do. That it's just whoever gets those couple of 2 or 3 big fish.
Okay, so let's talk about Weiss Lake. I know that's improving up there. Tell us about the crappie bite at Weiss.
This week things have really picked up. We've had some weather issues, but we just got out there and just made the best of it, and things are picking up. We're catching more numbers now. Still catching some good fish out there in the treetops and the stumps on the ledges, 12, 14, even some 18 to 20 foot deep. These fish are starting to bunch up a little bit, so it's covering water, finding that brush, and when you find the brush that's got some fish on it, just sit down there and just work them. The fish are getting a little more aggressive, and it's just going to get better as it gets colder. But the biggest thing is when we get out there in those brush tops, trying to kind of be as gentle as we can on them going down. If you drop it straight down in there and get hung and shake that bush, it's going to be like a covey of quail busting out of there. So you'll have to come back to it. They're still a little finicky. You just got to take your time, work them, and we're catching some good fish right now.
Well, Lee, as always, man, we appreciate it. We hope to see you a little bit later today, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 6th, presented by Mercury. Hey, need to apologize. We had some technical glitches that really made it the recording of Tom Ott unable to use. Normally, Tom gets on here and he tells us everything that's going on with Guntersville. We actually taped it while Tom was on the road, but, stuff happens, unfortunately. Tom, we apologize, but we're going to use your words. The fish at Guntersville have started to move into the creeks, major creeks, with the water temperature falling because of this cold weather that we've had over the past week or so and getting a little bit colder. The bait have started to move. Tom recommended we use square bill crankbaits around grass and some of the bridge pilings and things to look for largemouth. It's still kind of spotty when it comes to the keepers being, big ones or little ones. Just regular keepers, it seems fairly easy to be able to put a few fish into the boat, but to find the big fish is still kind of a tricky deal. Tom recommended, like we said, the square bill crankbaits. He recommended some bladed jigs, jackhammers, thunder crickets, those kinds of things around those areas that have grass coming together in those creek areas. That would produce some fish. A spinnerbait might be able to do it. The A-rig bite has kind of died off a little bit. So those of you guys that are out there looking for those Alabama rigs, the fish have kind of seemed to scatter a little bit as the bait has continued to move. But as it gets colder, they'll clump up again, and those might make a return for you as that happens. The stripers are out there running on the main channels again, following the bait. You can catch those on topwater baits, A-rigs, swim baits. Those kinds of presentations will help put a few fish in the boat. And then you can always go crappie fishing and put yourself in those bridge pilings and around some of the docks on Guntersville. Those will help you find the crappie. Shooting some docks a little bit, maybe vertical jigging some of those bridge pilings will help you put a few fish in the boat. And that's from Tom Ott, who spends a lot of time on Lake Guntersville with St. Jennifer there. We're sorry that Tom's not here today on our report, but technical difficulties made it that the video wasn't usable. But we're going to take what Tom had to say, share that information with you. And for those of you that are close to Bucks Island, today is the Fish for Jamie Collette fundraiser tournament for his kids at Coosa Landing. First safe flight till 2 o'clock, first flight. It's all a donation to Jamie with guaranteed payouts. First prize is $2,000 thanks to Tony and Mary at Bucks Island and the family over there. But we hope to see you guys. We thank you for everything that you do, and we'll talk to you soon. Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 6th, presented by Mercury. Thanks to everybody that comes out today to support the Jamie Collette Fish for Jamie tournament. We appreciate everything. We appreciate your friendship, your partnership, your business. And don't forget, we're here to help you with anything you need, whether it's service, parts, tackle, or you're looking for a new boat. Come on by here, Bucks Island. Come see us. We'll do everything we can to make sure you get what you need to enjoy your time on the water.